How's it going, everybody? I'm PG. I'm chillin'. Yeah, that's right. And this is my review of J. Cole's Might Delete Later. Fayetteville's very own Jermaine Lamar Cole has been on a roll over the last few years. Whether it was his last album in 2021, the off-season, working hard with his Dreamville label, those Dreamville festivals, Dreamfests, and putting out some of the best feature verses in his career. Okay there, PG, stop glazing the man. And in the midst of his highly anticipated album, The Fall Off, Cole surprises us with this mixtape, album, project, whatever it's classified as. Now, whether or not Kendrick Lamar's verse escalated the release of this thing is a whole nother question, but I'll tackle that disresponse later. Aside from a few songs, this project sees Cole sounding as braggadocious and as confident as ever, and at times with a menacing and hungry tone, like on the songs Pricey, Crocodile Tears, Ready 24, and 3001. And I mean, why shouldn't he? Him and his Dreamville label mates have been making a mark recently. And we also hear that in the production early on, like that dark, thumping trap beat on the song Hunting Wabbits. Come on, bro, we just had Easter. Now, although I'm not a big fan of this trend of recycling classic beats and using it for your own, I gotta give credit where credit is due. Flipping and tweaking the Diplomats' I'm Ready and turning it into a modern day banger is just amazing. And if you haven't heard the original, please check it out. So for me, the nostalgia factor on that song is on 100. And rather than just a spoken intro on the song 95 South from the off-season, Cameron actually delivers a solid verse alongside J. Cole. It's also kind of interesting to hear guest appearances from guys like Young Dro, Gucci Mane, and Trey the Truth on here, who all have that southern trap-centric sound to them. Perhaps this is the direction that Cole has been going in for the Fall Off. Most of this project sees Cole talking his shit and also talking about the violence from where he came up, along with reflecting on his most recent acclaimed success and his spot in the game today. As for those few exception songs I was talking about earlier, we have HYB, which is a low-key banger, thanks to those ukulele strings in the background and overall good performances from Bass and Central C. On the brief song Stealth Mode, J. Cole kind of soaks in his moment, lamenting on where he was before and where he is now. Then we have Pie, which is an interesting track and sounds very jazzy, and sees everyone involved kind of just getting shit off their chest, with Cole delivering a strong and lengthy verse. I will say that cancel culture does come up on this project several times, which I do like, and I appreciate J. Cole's awareness of the whole thing, even though it hasn't really affected him per se. Ironically though, I've seen shit online saying that he has transphobic bars on the song, which is a whole lot of nothing if you ask me. And even if he does feel that way, really? This is where we're gonna draw the lyrical line at in hip-hop? Really? 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 And then there's the song Fever, which to me just sounds like a mid-Drake song. It's not the worst melodic Cole song or even a bad song, but in context with the rest of this album, it falls flat for me.
Get to the diss track, Patrick. What about the diss track? 7-minute drill.
So 7-minute drill feels like a forced and perhaps premature response to Kendrick's verse. So first things first, if you're gonna diss somebody, don't compliment them in the process. But what do I know about rap disses in the culture? I mean, let's go back to what Eminem said a few years ago about MGK. You just diss me, I'm perplexed. Insult me on a line, compliment me on the next. And those discography bars just don't add up. Technically, Section 80 was his first album, but not like a major label studio album. You know what I mean. Saying his first album, Good Kid, Mad City, was a classic. Agreed, but not a diss. Second shit was boring, but people gassed it. I mean, T-Pab did help Kendrick Lamar win a Pulitzer Prize, and it's widely considered a classic album. So attacking Kendrick Lamar for his catalog, not the best approach. Also, we called him his friend a couple times on this record, so again, not a diss. I just feel that if you both personally know each other and you know it's all love at the end of the day, you don't gotta remind him on a diss track. Aside from a few bars about Kendrick taking long sprees and taking forever to drop music, and literally being too short to box with God, not feeling this diss record. Although I do appreciate Cole responding and sparring with K-Dot, even though Kendrick's verse was mainly focused on Drake. But perhaps Cole has more in store, because the Cold War has just begun. No, that was stupid, I know. But don't let that underwhelming diss song and the comment section take away from how good Might Delete Later is. Quality bars, more dynamic J. Cole energy than usual, bangers, contemplative moments, and being 12 songs long, not much to complain about. If this is just an appetizer or a warm-up to the Fall Off, and these songs are kind of throwaways, then we are in for some absolute heat on his upcoming album. My favorite songs are Pricey, Crocodile Tears, Ready 24, HYB, and Trey the Truth in Ibiza. And PG's in his house. Always. But what are your thoughts on Might Delete Later? Because these are my thoughts. Stay blessed.